Hey guys, it's Yasmin. Welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I thought of doing a review, a wear and tear review of my Louis Vuitton Speedy Bandouliere 25. I've had this for almost 2 years now, and I thought it was about time that I do a review video to see how this bag has fared. So if you're interested to see this video, do stay tuned. So let's go ahead with the review. When I'm not carrying or using the bag, I am sure to store it in its dust bag. So this is how it is. And this is the bag in question. So this is my Speedy B 25 in the Damier Azur canvas. And I bought this from Fashion File. I bought it pre-loved in 2018. So it's about 2 years right now. And overall, I would say that the condition is about 7/10. I'll be honest, it's not as beautiful as I first got it, but I still do love it. So I'm going to be talking a bit on the canvas itself as well as the vachetta, but first let us look at the bag itself. Okay, so this is the front of the bag, and I call this the front of the bag because of how the logo is. The logo is the correct side up, and this is the back of the bag, and as you can see, the logo is upside down. So this Speedy is made up of one piece of canvas, so it goes from here, and this is the bottom, and it goes ahead to the other side. That's why this is upside down. This is also how I store the bag when I'm not using it. Let me just take this out. I am sure to store it with a kind of pillowcase, or you can use your bubble wrappings and so on, but I actually sewed this pillowcase to fit the size of my bandouliere, of my Speedy. So this is something which I just did so that I can stuff this bag nicely and not overstuff it. So the reason why I stuff the bag is because there's still a bit of creasing from how the bag is folded. If you don't know, the bag can be folded this way. So actually when you first buy the Speedy, it'll be folded this way. So the creases somehow, even after 2 years of use, it didn't really go off. Yeah, so I'm not too sure why. And inside I also keep a bag base. So I always carry a bag base with this because I feel that it prevents the bottom from sagging when I carry too many things. And it also prevents the inside from getting dirty. You can't really see, but I'm pretty happy with the condition of the inside of the bag. Yeah, so all thanks to this bag base. Let me just talk a bit about the vachetta. This, as you guys know, this bag has vachetta everywhere. So the vachetta is on the handles, it's on these chaps over here, and on the sides here. Oh, did I mention that mine is made in France? So I'm really happy about that. And this side, it also has vachetta piping all around the bag. So I would say there's vachetta about 20% of the bag. So this is really something that you want to take note of, and especially for vachetta on the handles, you can tell that it's quite hard to take care of. So what happened to my bag is overall the vachetta is quite even, so it has turned into this nice slightly honey patina color, which I am okay with. Let me show you the straps. Okay, so I keep the straps in its own dust bag. So I managed to get a cute tiny dust bag from one of the SAs in the Louis Vuitton store in Singapore when I went back. So I keep the straps inside. So it comes with 3 straps actually, but I like using this bag as a shoulder bag. So I only use 2 of the straps. So these 2 straps, the patina is similar to the one on the back. But let me show you the strap, the extender strap. So because I didn't use the extender strap, the color of the patina is slightly different. So what I've been doing is, when I'm not using this bag, I take this strap out and I just sun it. I'm hoping to get the color to be similar to the strap over here. But let me just show you the color of the vachetta when I first got it. So that's the color. It's really very light. So I would say that it didn't really change, or yeah, it didn't really change that much. It didn't really patina that much, so I'm okay with it. But I also wanted to share that I have quite a few watermarks around. So if you can see over here, there's a bit of marks over here, and then I have a bit of splotches everywhere, which is quite hard to manage. And then there's a bit of indentation on the chap here, which is okay, yeah, but the chaps here are fine. And if you can see, there's a scratch of sorts here. I think it was my nail or something sharp, but otherwise, and then there's a bit of watermark also on the vachetta here. And this portion is pretty even, but yeah, so I can't really help it if I get, you know, watermarks on the vachetta. I did, before I used this bag, I did treat it with the Apple Guard spray, but I think it only helped to a certain extent. So you can't really protect the vachetta all the way. That said, I'm happy with how the vachetta has turned out. It's not so dark, it's not so discolored. I have seen some Speedies where, you know, it's darker over here than the rest. So mine, because I always carry it on my shoulder, I don't really tend to hold it, so it's still okay. So that's the vachetta for you. And let me talk a bit of the hardware. So the hardware itself, I don't think the hardware did wear very well. I think the hardware got really bad. There's a lot of scratches on it, and there's a lot of tarnishing. So the zippers, it's still fine, but there's tarnishing here. I don't know if you can see it, but there's tarnishing on the inside of this hardware loop, the D-ring, because of how the strap, when you attach it, and when you carry it, it tends to hit the metal, hitting the metal. So I think the discoloration is from there. So because of that, on both sides of the hardware, the D-rings here, you can see tarnishing, and there's also scratches, and I think it's a bit of peeling of the hardware. So you can see that I'm not sure whether this is peel or it's discoloration. I'm trying to focus. Okay, so there's a bit of discoloration here. And the thing to note is, I realized there's a slight greenish tint in between. Oh, it's this side. There's a slight greenish tint in between the zipper teeth over here. It's very obvious to me in real life, so I'm not too sure. I read online it's because of the oxidization of the brass material. Thing is, it's only showing the greenish tint on this side of the zipper, and this side of the zipper is still white. So I'm not too sure what's going on with that. But that's the brass hardware. And the hardware itself between the strap and the D-ring here is different. You can see that this is more gold as compared to this one, and this one seems to not, yeah, it has tarnished pretty bad. So this is still quite gold and shiny. I'm gonna talk about the canvas right now. So oh my god, the canvas is challenging. It's very hard to take care because firstly, it's such a light color, it's a cream color, so it's very prone to color transfer. Okay, so the reason why I identify the front and the back of my bag, it's because I try to carry the back side of the bag against myself. So this side of the bag will be against my coat or my jeans or my, you know, whatever I'm wearing, and it's because there's a lot of color transfer on this side, because naturally when I carry the bag, this is the side, this whole area here will be the one that will be rubbing onto my clothing. So this got a lot of color transfer at that time. I think I had it in my, it had dark blue color transfer, and then I was wearing a maroon coat, so it had maroon here. It was so ugly. It just made me feel so sad that my beautiful bag was discolored in that way. Yeah, and of course I tried to remove it, and I used wet wipes, and it didn't come off. I think most of it came off, the color, but then I used the magic eraser. So not only did the color come off, but you could see that some of the print of the Damier Azur also came off. So yeah, but this is as much as I could remove it, it doesn't look that bad. If you were to see this bag in person, you would think that, hey, it still looks fine. But I knew what this bag went through. Okay, I knew what it went through. And you can still see a bit here of the color transfer on the piping. I did try to clean it, but it didn't come off. Yeah. And of course, that said, the four corners of the bag itself, the canvas, you know, here it rubbed off because of how, you know, the bag is carried and how it has been placed on tables and whatnot. So that's the canvas for you. And another thing to note about the canvas is I noticed that the color of the canvas, it used to be a light cream color, but now it has turned there's a slight yellowish tinge to it. Okay, you can't see it when you look at the bag on its own, because all you see is it's nice, it's still cream, it's gorgeous. But I just bought a mini pochette accessoire in Damier Azur. So this is the mini pochette, and can you see the difference in the color of the canvas? I know that the canvases that Louis Vuitton produces tend to have different shades, but I did remember this bag being as white and creamy as this mini pochette when I first got it. So you can see the difference only when you place something new against it. So you can see the slight yellowish tinge. And if you don't believe me, let me just take another Damier Azur item. So this is my pochette from my Never Full. I don't really use this all the time, so I usually keep it. And I actually bought this Never Full and the pochette before I got this bag. So this one is, I think, about 2.5 years old, but because I've not been using it, the color is still creamy and white as compared to the Speedy. So I suspect that the discoloration comes from using the bag outside. It could be because of the exposure to sunlight and whatnot. And this is my key pouch, and this is also slightly yellowish, but not as yellowish as the Speedy. Yeah, because this one is always in my bag. Well, this one will be outside when I carry it out. So that's the canvas itself, and I've not figured out what I can do to prevent the canvas from turning yellow. I'll probably just try to do a bit of research, but if you do have any idea how to prevent the canvas from turning yellow, do let me know in the comments below. I'll really be grateful. So far I have not cleaned the canvas. The only thing I use to clean the canvas is I use a wet wipe, which doesn't have any alcohol in it, and I just give it a good rub. I also recently cleaned and conditioned. I cleaned the vachetta first, and then I conditioned it, and then I did spray the apple gut again. Yeah, because I wanted to carry this out anytime soon, because it's summer and it looks like a beautiful summer bag. Overall, I would say the condition is 7/10. The canvas, there's no cracking on the canvas except for the rubbing off at some of the corners. The vachetta also, there's no cracks, but there are some like rough areas, especially because I think it was dry or it was not moisturized. But I still love the bag. I still think the Speedy 25 is such a good size for me. I love the tiny size. It goes well as a crossbody. I love it. I love how the bag molds to me. I did enjoy carrying it as a crossbody. So just be sure when you store the bag to also, you know, take it out, to let it breathe, let the leather breathe, and also just to take note that it doesn't have a moldy smell. So far my bag, it still smells nice. There's no moldy smell whatsoever, but I also think it's because of the weather here in Canada. It's drying, so things don't get it doesn't get that humid, except for right now because it's summer. So that's all I have for today's video for this wear and tear review. It's a 2-year wear and tear review of my Speedy Bandouliere 25. So I hope you guys found this video useful, and if you did, please give me a thumbs up and please subscribe. I would really appreciate it. Or if you didn't like the video, please let me know in the comments below why you didn't like it and what I could have done to make it better. Yeah, don't just leave a dislike, okay? So anyway, take care and see you next time. Bye.